100, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Ha 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 ha! Tally Bally Ho! Oh, that clutch! Holy crap, that's light! Mirrors, mirrors on the wall. Who's the twattest of them all? Ha ha! Oh, that clutch is so light. Biting point's quite close to the bars. Ooh, the gear lever's in just the right place. Oh, look at all this mud just for me. How kind. Bastards. Well, Tally Bally Ho. Hello. Hello. Right. Right, well, I'll try again, shall I? Tally Bally Ho. Hello, everybody. So, stop shouting, you wanker. That might be a catchphrase. You never know. So I'm on the new Street Cup, which is based on the Street Twin. Very, very similar bikes indeedy. Not like the T100, which is the Street Twin engine in a T120 frame. Same suspension, same brakes, same engine, same gearing, same clutch, same everything. Apart from the change in rake and trail of the front end, it's a little bit steeper. So it should be a little sharper to turn in, and it's got these different clip-on handlebars, you see, like a U-shaped jobby. And of course you can tilt them as high or low as you want. You can twist them a bit like a bicycle handlebar, really. There's a nice sort of depth to the boom of the exhaust, but it is standard exhaust pipes, so they're nothing special. But again, plenty of pickup. Now, it feels lighter than the T120 already, because it is. It's about 15 kilograms lighter. So, a couple of things. It's 2 kilograms heavier than the Street Twin. The Street car, I'm going to get so confused with Street, Speed, Twin, Triple, blah! Anyway, the Street Twin is 198 kilograms. This is a 200 kilograms. And it, don't forget, I've got new tyres. They're only 5 miles old, so that's okay. Because of the clip-ons, it's not as wide as the Street Twin, so it's not as woohoo as the Street Twin, but actually that should make it more conservative in the corners, so you actually just have to actually yes, when you're leaning forward it makes sense. Tally Bally Ho, hello, I'm on the Street Cup. Hey! Essentially, as I was getting there, it's the Street Twin in a different guise. It's got the little cafe racer thingy on there, visor, spoiler, eyelid, whatever you want to call it. The difference is obviously you've got the twin dials. Can you see the twin dials? Can you? But that actually, look at that steering. Oh my god, look at that turning cycle. That's brilliant. Much better than the thrusty. It's manoeuvrable, it's light, it's manageable, it's light. Oh my god, the clutch lever is so light. And the gears just snick into place. Same controls as the Street Twin, but I'll get back to those in a second. Ready? Ready? Yeah, there's a nice resonance throb. You can tell they're standard pipes. There's no sort of sharp bark sound. But it's nice. It's the 270-degree firing interval, and it's 5 gears as opposed to 6 gears on the 1200 engine. But the Street Twin's only got 5 gears too. So what have we got? We've got this side. We've got the headlights on all the time, dipped, and then you've got this little flasher trigger here, which you pull it once, it goes to full beam, pull it again, it goes back to beam. So you could flash by going flash, 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 flash. But that's about it. It hasn't got heated grips, but that is an option. The info button then works this screen on the left, just like the T120 and the Thruxton R, and Thruxton, obviously. The gear indicator, odometer, trip 1, trip 2, instantaneous miles to the gallon, because this is going to sound very repetitive, average miles to the gallon, and the clock, which is correct. Goodness sake, the clock is correct. That's outrageous. That never happens. Okay, and then on this side, the camera's in the way. I'll do that on the walk around, but on this side, you've got the fuel gauge, range to go, and that's it, because you don't have modes on it, just like the Street Twin. You do have traction control and ABS, and I believe the traction control is turn-offable, but not the ABS. Standard smoky brake reservoir, same as on the Speed Triple R and the Thruxton R as standard. So it's not that sort of square cast alloy brake reservoir. It's a bit big and ugly, probably quite heavy too, but it's not bad. It looks quite racy. It's squat. It's quite nice, and it's got the same brushed aluminium dial bracket thing as my Thrusty. Yeah, the dials are the same as on the T120 actually, because they're the grey rather than the silver background to the dial face. But it's got this nice scalloped interior and stepped down thingamabob to give it a much more sort of 3D appearance, even though it is a 3D dial. Haha, if that makes sense. Probably not. Talking bollocks. Filtering, filtering, filtering along, filtering, filtering, there's crap all over the road. Blimey, look at this, it's a river. It's a river. Oh, good God, look at that. So, yes, seat heights are different, of course. The handlebars are obviously narrower than the Street Twin. Seat height, well, the Street Twin is renowned for being quite low, so good for new riders, being A2 licence applicable. This is A2 licence as well. But the, I'll just give you a little wipe. There we go. This is A2 licence as well, so if you want a sporty cafe racer type bike on A2 licence, off you go. They're really catering for the A2 lot, the younger generation. Anyway, I digress. Seat height, 750mm on the Street Twin. Very low. I think my Thruxton's 820 or something, quite high. This is not as high, 780mm. So still good for those are diminutive of stature and, dare I say it, ladies! Certainly anyone, say 5'2", could get on here. I have a great friend who you may have heard of, who's 5'3", and he would get on here absolutely peachily, and probably not even have to be tippy toes. Seating position then. Yeah, your knees are slightly higher, but they fit the tank better because the pegs are further back, you see. So your knees aren't up round your ears, which is how I felt on the Street Twin. The Street Twin is an upright position, but the pegs are probably as high as these, but slightly further forwards. So your knees are up high. That was one of the reasons why I liked the T100 and the T120 for legroom. But no, this isn't uncomfortable for me. I am, after all, used to my Thruxton R. Similar position, actually. I'm slightly leant forwards. Nice angle on the handlebars. Yeah, I quite like it. It's good. It's very good. Over to the much vaunted Walkaround. Oh, you may not be able to see that, but there is the side stand bar, and really easy to get. Oh yeah. Oh look, it's muddy. Well, tally Bally Ho, welcome to the Walkaround. As usual, I'm using my phone because it's a better camera for this sort of jazz. So, this is the Street Cup. £8,600 on the road, Street Twin, £7,500. Now there's got to be a slight difference, say a couple £100 because this is a new bike and the Street Twin isn't. But actually, when you look at it, they're identical, apart from the rake and trail at the front and the styling. The tank, it's still a 12-litre tank, same as on the Street Twin. Mirrors are different, mudguard's different. But what you've got here is, rather than doing a comparison, let's talk about this. This is the 900 high torque parallel twin liquid cooled. So, speaking of liquid cooled, if you haven't seen my other videos, there is the radiator. Nice narrow radiator, nestled neatly between the front down frame bars. And here are the cast wheels. Don't worry about these reflectors. They can be ripped off. They're just stuck on with some sort of white gum. You just take those off. Get rid. Immediately. Get rid. Just get rid. I was wrong. It's a single disc, but as you saw, it was more than capable. Absolutely more than capable. And this is plastic. That's very good. Now, these indicators look too big to me. I'd get them with a smaller LED indicators if I were you. But they are in keeping, I suppose, with the style of bike out of the box, as it were. You could put up with that for a while, I'd have thought. And the light, well, it's not like the T120 and Thruxton are. It's not split into LED. It is just a bulb with an ordinary bulb side light bulb. But I do like the fact they've got Triumph there. And look, there's a warning sticker that's a light. Yeah, careful. So the tyres are Pirelli Phantom Sports Comp. They seem to do the trick all right. Front and back, they're very nice. Yeah, I like the black silencers, but again, I'd like a bit more noise. Now, my Thruxton and the Thruxton R don't come with these pillion pegs. They just come up with a blank, but obviously this one, they've decided you can take a pillion without having to have a different seat. Now, talking of the engine, it's that liquid called 900 high torque. High torque. Brrr. And there's the nice stylish T. And again, the engine embellisher, you can change that like I have on my Thruxton. You can get a chrome oil filler cap. There's the starter motor. And an oil sight glass, which is a nice change to having to use the dipstick on the oil filler cap. Sprocket cover, you can change that. A lot of it's all customizable. You can get black throttle body covers here, but it's made to look a bit like an old-fashioned air filter. And here you go. Very stylish gold writing. And as I say, the pegs are functional. You can change those for something that looks a bit better. I like the fact that the heel guard is actually on the sprocket cover. That's pretty cool. And apologise for the mud. These exhaust fins, clamps, they are functional to a certain degree. They do dissipate some heat, but being liquid cooled, it doesn't have to be that bad. I would expect these downpipes to discolour because they're not double skinned, and as they have on my bike as well. The tank, this is absolutely gorgeous. I'm sorry it's not a sunny day, really, because actually that is a speckly silver, just like my Thruxton. And that is absolutely lovely. Yet again, I believe, yes, it's the secret Triumph locking filler cap. I had someone say, why do you need to lock your thing? Blah, 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 blah. No one's going to come along and steal your petrol. Well, actually, yes. They do. Maybe not in America or places, but in the UK they can. Especially the price of fuel here. But again, the knurled edge. The knurled edge is very nice, very stylish. I do like that. In a way, I prefer, if it was a race bike, I'd prefer a stripe down the middle, but I suppose you can add that. But it goes with the fact there isn't a stripe on the seat cowl, but you've got these side panels here with, again, the white pinstripe followed by the gold pinstripe. And you can feel the bump. They've been lacquered in nicely. Very nice. So it's all been properly painted. And I like the sort of scoop effect around here. It's all cosmetic, but it is nice. With the spark plug branding as well. Someone told me the fins don't work. They actually do. They're just not particularly necessary, but they do help cool the engine. They are not just a style thing. They are functional to a certain degree. It is still a cylinder head, and it still needs cooling. So it does do that to a certain degree. There's the little fan in the back of the radiator. Okay, so working our way round, you can get a tail tidy, which would come, so the lights would be here, and the number plate would come here, and that would finish that off very nicely. And it's a chain drive, obviously, and the rear suspension is only adjustable in preload. What you do is you twist that along the bottom, and it looks like it's got 3 or 4 adjustments there. But the way it was set up now was fine by me. It's got ABS there. On this side, there's the coolant expansion tank there. That's where you'd fill it up and check it. Again, engine embellisher this side, throttle body cover, and another side panel here. Triumph on the tank, and that's that. So, looking at the controls, we looked at those earlier. Oh, I like the fact the headlight bowl is silver and black around here, but silver behind. So it's a black and silver bike. It's just a nice little touch because the silver shows through these black bits here, and you can see the silver headlight there. The ABS light is flashing. Let's have a look. Traction control on, traction control off, traction control on. So yes, the ABS is not turn-offable, but the traction control is switchable. There you go, that answers that question. Huzzah! And it's a cable brake lever, but as the slip assist clutch is so light, oh, it's just a pleasure. We've spoken about the brake reservoir, but the mirrors, let's have a look. So, they've got a little bit of Triumph branding here, and it's a sort of a matte powder coat finish. It's alright. Yeah, it's not too bad, but they do not need to stick out that far. You know, with some mirrors you have to, let's go around this side. Some mirrors you have to sort of angle in to look behind you. You angle these in and you can't see anything out here. They're so good that's the problem. So yeah, things on this side change. Pipes. Get rid of the reflectors on the forks. Pipes, indicators, tail tidy, engine embellishers. On this bike, I would get the black throttle body covers there. But other than that, it's all very good. And again, it's £8,600. So would you be better off just doing as much as you can to the street twin? So say you spend another 1,500 quid. Oh, nice motor guzzi. Oh, hello. Are you better off buying a street twin, spending say £2,000 on it to make it close to this, or spending £1,000 on this in accessories and just enjoying it the way it is? Because it does. The position is sportier, I must admit. So if that's the thing you're after, I think, yeah, I'd stick with this, for me, personally. And no, the single disc on the front is more than capable. There'll be lots of people out there who say, no, you need twin front brakes. But actually, with the power and torque and the weight of this bike and the bite of that brake, you don't need any more. And it didn't pull left or pull right. There was no sort of problems with it being just one side. No asymmetry. It's a very pretty bike. I hope you all agree. That is a very pretty bike. If this had come out and I was on more of a budget than when the Thruxton R came out, and I obviously bought that, I'd have been very tempted. And especially as a first bike instead of a street triple. But after all, I did have the old 900 Thruxton. Now, there's a question. The 900 Thruxton or this? This, it's much lighter, easier to ride. It's got the technology, the rider aids. And it looks better actually. It's cleaner because they've hidden all the wires and pipes, and so you can look straight through the engine. It's just a better made machine. The black powder coat paint on the engine cases means it won't corrode like the chromate ones did on my old Thruxton and on my new Thruxton as well. That's an ongoing discussion with Triumph. Yep, there's a key there, just like on my Thruxton. And see what's underneath. I have a funny feeling there will be a USB port. Bit of rubber on there, finish it off nicely. This length of seat is very good. There's loads of room to move about, push back, get the body into the right position. I don't really do any of that, but you could do it if you want to. Underneath it looks very similar to my Thruxton. ECU, battery, USB charging port there, And that's the port for doing the ECU, etc., computery bits. But yeah, there we go. Very easy to put on and off. So just with the key. So you can easily get the dual seat like I have on my Thruxton and use those pillion pegs. Fairly versatile, and also with these gaps here in the frame, you see, here, 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 and even back here, that means you'd easily be able to get luggage put on the back of your dual seat, like I have in my Thruxton, whether you use the Krieger straps or bungee cords with hooks. I'd use rubber on the ends of the hooks just to protect the paint, but yeah, there's versatility there. There really is. Is it my favourite of the new classics, of the 900 classics? If I didn't have my Thruxton, yes, this is my favourite of the new 900 classics. If I do have my Thruxton, which I do, then my favourite 900 classics is the T100, just because it's different. It looks like the 1959 Bonneville's, therefore looks more traditional, but it's the best of both worlds. It looks the part, but is a modern bike that doesn't wet itself all the time. Okay, and for now what has become a fairly normal thing is the sound test. So, the engine sounds rorty. Right, let's see if the microphone on this little bad boy is any better. It's around 3,000 to 4,000 revs. It's got a nice, very nice burble. Okay, it's enough waffle. Let's do some more riding. Ha ha! And now for your viewing delectation, it is selfie time. Woo! Yes, I like this. Now, as Naked Bikes goes, it's got this little thing on the front, which, hang on, wind, no wind, wind, wind. It is wind, but it's a different sort of resonance of wind. So yeah, it does work a little bit. But I think you need to be quite a small person to really benefit from being able to crouch low on this bike. But it goes all right. I think it's definitely got more zip. It is 55 brake horsepower and 59 foot-pounds of torque. 80 newton meters, that rings a bell. Which means power and torque are very similar figures. So you get a good spread of acceleration. Oh, it's good engine braking. I like that. It might be because the engine's not running yet, of course, but oh yes, actually, it wants to. As you roll it over, the yeah, certainly slower. As you roll it over, the bars want to turn in. That's actually quite a nice feature. Yeah, it makes it feel much lighter and more nimble than when I first got on it going slowly, but it keeps that flickability higher into higher speeds. Now, so you've got a 4 adjustable lever here, make it black please Triumph, and a 4-way adjustable brake lever there. They're the standard brake levers. They're all right. They're some sort of silver alloy. They will do. And on this side you've got hazard lights and the modern kill switch and starter rocker switch there. It says 75 miles to the gallon on the old sheet, but I'd say 60 is probably a more realistic everyday figure, especially if you do a mixture of blatting it and doing 60 on B roads and etc etc. But so far it's nice, and the quality again, like all the modern Triumphs, the Speed Triple R, the Street Twin, T100, T120, Thruxton R, they've all got the paint just seems better quality, the gloss paint seems thicker, the welds are very, I mean look, that's a very even weld there for this handlebar. It just seems very nicely put together. But the lightness of that clutch, you can, I mean I don't want to do any clutchless shifting because of, well, it's a new bike, gearbox hasn't run in, engine hasn't run in, but oh, there's a nice little, oh, there's a bit of a punch here that the T100 didn't have. So that's nice. I just put on a little bit of power through there. It's the ride-by-wire throttle that all the new Triumphs have got, and actually that is very nice. It's there, it's there. It says, but it's very linear and very easy. So some motorbikes in a corner you wouldn't really want to touch much throttle or change much throttle, but there it's just there. It's nice. Very, very easy to ride. Very easy to ride, just like the Street Twin and the T100. They are instantly easy to ride. Everything's light and simple. And that, in third gear, wasn't full throttle, and that was a pleasant amount of oomph. Tell you what, I'm going to talk about power and torque together combined as oomph. And that had a pleasant amount of oomph. How's that? Right, let's see now. That is full throttle, 5,000 revs, 6,000 revs, 75. That's more than enough to get round people. So 73 miles an hour, it's doing 4,000 revs in top. So I'm still in top, and that just rolled on from 60, 75, 80. That's a pleasant amount of roll, brake. See, that is nice. It's so easy to ride. That's got to be one of the defining points about this bike, is that not only have you got a few gadgets and you can get heated grips, and it's got the traction control and the ABS to make your other half feel a little safer about you being on a motorbike if they're of the person that think motorbikes are dangerous. Yeah, it's nice. It turns in nicely. Smooth, very smooth. And I think that's the accentuation of the throttle. If the throttle's smooth and the clutch is light and the braking's progressive, then everything else comes together. But the turning, look, I'm weaving a little bit, and there we go. And that's lovely. I mean, I know that was only at about 65 miles an hour, so it wasn't anything drastically quick, but this is just under engine braking, no brakes at all. That's pleasant. Yeah, I like that. Oh, it's an everyday bike. You can really play. It's effortless. And I'm not having to put much force to counter steer to get the bike over. It's a very, very easy bike to ride. My lower back isn't hurting because it is essentially a naked bike and the wind is helping my body stay upright. So I haven't got much weight on my wrists, but actually it's fine. That's nice. If you bang it into a gear without taking all the throttle off and then just getting it in quickly, there's a nice jerk that's in fourth, and I'm going up this fairly gentle hill very easily. Now we'll get to the looks of the bike later, but look at this tank. Look at that, with that gold pinstripe there, and the silver here. I'm a fan of knee pads. I'll put the knee pads on, I must admit. So we're in fourth, going up a slight incline at just over 2,000 revs, and I haven't got much throttle on, but it's keeping it quite happily. I'm not stressing the engine, and it's just quite happily, merrily going up this hill without any bother. So the suspension, it's the KYB suspension, standard suspension of the Street Twin. The front suspension is non-adjustable. The rear suspension is adjustable in preload only. Now you must remember that this is, it's not a budget bike by any means. You can get much cheaper motorcycles, but it is built to try and open up this class of bike, this look, cafe racer style bike, up to people who don't necessarily have the same amount of disposable income, starting off their motorcycling lives. And that just accelerated up that, oh, this is really nice. And actually, I think it's happier if you do give it some. It seems to come to life a little bit more if you the agility, it feels much more agile and flickable if you actually play with it. But the way the gearbox snicks into place, to me it's a very natural position. I like it. Don't get me wrong, it's not the most powerful of motorcycles, and I suppose for me, I mean, I loved the T120, and people were saying, how can you be so excited about 55 brake horsepower and 59 foot-pounds of torque? But actually, it's really nice. This is a nice motorcycle. Certainly a very good first big bike, if this is the look you're going for. If you want the more classic look, the T100, or even the Street Twin if you want to look more modern. But this is a very nice motorcycle. It's well put together. Oh, there. This is up a slight incline, and actually, that does hustle a little bit. It's good, but it's all manageable stuff. You get to where you want to go quickly, and you accelerate fairly quickly, but it's perfectly manageable with ease. As I said, it's such an easy bike to ride. It's incredibly, it's not even firm, it's just very controlled. The suspension is very controlled, and it's not skittish like it can be if it's set up too hard. Yeah, this is nice, I like this. So this is the bumpy road section. Hey! And you know you're on a bumpy road, but I'm not. Normally I'm shouting about my testicles right now, but actually nothing has hurt my lower back. Nothing has hurt my testicles. See, these are quite jarry bumps, but they're soaked up totally. I'd say this suspension is better than the Street Twin. I don't know why, but it is. It's very nice. Tickety-boo! Right, so 2 fingers, rear brake, 40 miles an hour. Oh, it's wet again. Bugger. Hang on. 40 miles an hour, and oh, yeah, that's good. It's about as hard as I'd want to pull the front brake, because the front started weaving a little bit at the very end. Obviously it was under a lot of compression. Yeah, I liked it. That was good. But these bumps, boing, mud. The brakes are good. They're there. They're right there. They're, as soon as you pull that, it's there. There's no lag. I seem to remember the Street Twin. Maybe it wasn't bled properly, but the Street Twin, you got a little bit, then nothing, and then a lot. Whereas these are nicely set up. They're the same brakes as the Street Twin. Twin pots on the front, 1 twin pot on the back. And one of the benefits of this over the Thruxton is the fact it's cast wheels rather than spokes, just from a maintenance point of view, because keeping spokes clean during the winter is a bit of a bind. But then again, most people say, why are you using it in the winter? Which is true. Keep it in the garage, look after it, keep it shiny. The thing about Triumph at the moment is they're doing such an enormous array of bikes, but with enough difference between each one to warrant the price difference versus lifestyle versus image. But this is a little cafe racer out of the box for £8,600. So can't wait to ride the new 900 Scrambler, for example. That's going to be quite peachy, I reckon. This is better. This is a lot better than the old Thruxton 900. It's much lighter, 30 kilograms lighter. The rake is steeper, so it's much more flickable. You had to work hard with the old Thruxton 900, which in its own way was quite rewarding, going in and out of corners on that thing, because you knew you were trying, you were pushing it and it was good, and you were working well with the bike. But this is just a much better bike. Suspension, oh my goodness, out of the box, without any adjustment, without having to replace the shocks, which I had to on my old Thruxton because I'd crash over any little bump. Yeah. Now, I started off comparing this with the Street Twin, which is fair because it's a Street Twin in a different guise, but it actually feels a bit faster than the Street Twin, although on paper it shouldn't be. So maybe it's just the position. Ha! Maybe. And I do apologise when I said earlier it has a twin front disc at the front. It's not, it's single. But it's more than capable. That's quite a lot of... That's 2-finger braking, and I can... Look at that, all on the front. Well, I know you don't go around jumping on the front brake like that all the time anyway, but just in case, it's there if you want it. Yeah, but, as I was saying, I started off comparing it to the Street Twin, and maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should have been comparing it to the old 900 Thruxton, because that was around £8,200. This is £8,600, and this is twice as good, twice as better a bike, with no dressing it up at all. It really is. It's a very nice bike indeed. And if that's what it is, you've got these gadgets, you've got ABS, you've got traction control. Yeah, it is at least twice as good as the outgoing Thruxton model. Now, it's a very, very nice bike, and I can feel the power there if I want it. For example, that's third gear, and that's an overtake up to 75. Look at that. Lovely. On a country road, what more could you want, really? This is, there's a little bit of buffeting at 75 because of that light cowl, which I'm not used to because I prefer fully naked. With my best Sid James laugh there. Oh yeah. So yes, I do like replying to all your comments, so thank you very much for watching. If there's anything else you want to know about this motorcycle, please do ask. There is lots. I could have gone through the entire specs list, but I always feel that's a little bit OTT. And thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for watching. Tally Bally Ho, this is the Triumph Street Cup. Brum, brum, brum. Ha ha. Tally Bally Ho! Sorry, that was just to wake you up. Probably fallen asleep by this point, you see. Right, let's have a go, eh? Let's have a go. Right, rev limiters at 7,000. This is quite nice actually. I'm tucked in. It's now sunny. It's sunny, everybody. I'm tucked in. There's a bit of a crosswind to the right. I'm going downhill. It sort of peters out. There we go. And so yes, I was going along a little bit quickly there. It's more than capable. This is a very pleasant ride. I just went over some broken tarmac and it wasn't too bad at all. Yeah, it's nice. There's 90. There's no buffeting. And the beauty of the cast alloy wheels, you don't have to clean them as much as bloody spokes. Effortless. An effortless bike. It's lovely. That's what it's going down as, effortless. And it's got these looks as well. Gorgeous, gorgeous machine. Thank you very much, Herts Triumph. And the chaps there. Very kind of you to let me ride this. I know it's your demo, but it's still very kind, very kind. I'm going to get wet. I'm going to get splooshed. If I'm not careful. On a brand new bike. Yeah, I got splooshed. You swine! Oh, he's going too fast. I'm going to get splooshed. Sploosh. And I wondered why I didn't bring my own bike out today. What is going on? They've blocked it! The bastards have blocked it. How dare they? Well, it did say road closed, you idiot. I'm going to have to go in round the back, as it were. I'm not too averse of that sort of thing. La 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 la. Shh! Don't tell them I took it off road. They might not notice the mud.